Alright, what's going on, guys? So this is just a quick update video of what was going on with the car. I know I uploaded, this is probably going to upload before my dyno video or the retune video that I'll upload. So I just want to put this up first to give you guys some information of actually what happened and what was wrong with the car. So as you saw on my Instagram, that's pretty much where everybody noticed. I got the car retuned last week, so it was last Thursday. Today is Wednesday. Last Thursday I got the car retuned, and luckily it was acting up. Spoke with my tuner Yo Solo, and I want to throw it out there that it wasn't all just a tune. So I don't want you guys thinking that the tune was pretty much the whole issue with the car, and you know the tune was no good. That wasn't really the case at all. The tune did need a freshen up. You know, it did need a retune, but really the retune it needed was just he added some more fuel at idle. That's why the car kept dying for some reason. But that could be part of what the other problem was. And the whole issue with the car, as you guys, I was explaining to you, it just breaks up, and it's been breaking up ever since I won that event at Fast Fest. And I'm pretty sure I can't remember, but I explained it more in detail in the tune video. But we went through a whole bunch of scenarios of trying to figure out what was going on with the car, and finally he just had the idea to walk up to my injectors, start wiggling wires, and that's where we found the problem. So like you guys know, I'm running RDX injectors, and I bought these new from Honda, but I bought them online, and they came with these pigtails because the RDX injector is a different connection to the injector than it is to the RSX Type S connector. So that's why they give you this pigtail, kind of like an adapter. That's the problem. At least in my case, I don't know how it is, but this adapter, it was the problem of everything because the connections weren't good. I don't know if I still have it. All right, so this was the problem one. As you can see, I'm already missing a connector here. This is tape that I put on it when I was there, just so we can try after we figured it out, so we can kind of finish the dyno session. But there you can see here, let me let this focus. One of them was just completely broken. So that's what he did. He was looking at the injectors, and then he went to pull. It was cylinder number one. He went to wiggle it, and then just the wire came out just like that, and we noticed one was broken. So I taped it real quick just so we can get through the dyno session, and it worked. But these connectors were the whole problem. So we went through each of the injector clips. He found another injector that the wires were just pulling out, so we had to make it work just to get through it. But the point is, we figured out what the problem was, and he said that's pretty much probably what the problem was the whole time. Like, if the car probably could have got away without a retune. It was just that one, that wire was broken, and two, that the other one wasn't making full connection. And that's another issue. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to fix right now. That the pins, they probably weren't making full connection. So obviously with solid mounts, with doing burnouts, with doing pulls, that's just wiggling on and off, and that's why it was so random. This issue would just happen, that sometimes it would do it, sometimes it wouldn't. It was so random because that pin was probably making contact once in a while. I would do a burnout, I would launch, it might move a little bit, break up, and then come back when I came off throttle. It makes so much sense, after really thinking about it. So that's what the problem is. But that was one problem, two problems, I guess. I won't count the retune as a problem. That was the first problem. Second problem is the injectors themselves, or the clip again itself. I'm gonna have to pull this rail off just so I can show you guys. So let me pull this off real quick. All right, so I just wanted to pull two injectors out to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. If you can, I don't know if you guys can see a difference between these two injectors, but number 4, as you can see, this connector or this connection is much more shorter than this side, and that's this problem number 2 with either the RDX injectors or the RDX clips. We're not sure which one it is, but the clip never made full contact. So you can see that little block in there, that's where it'll lock. It never made full contact. It never was able to lock those clips. I thought that's just how it was. So Paul, the owner of Top Secret, ended up shaving off the top of this injector. We plugged it in, and now it clicks in, and he said that's also, with having that issue, the pins were probably never making full contact onto the injector pins. So there's another issue again, could cause just a random miss or anything just by loose connections. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all these injectors, and I'm going to trim off just a little bit, just like this one, to get it to click. I should actually probably, let me show you what it does. So here's your RDX the gray is RDX connection, black is the RSX. That's why you can see. This actually makes no sense because that's it. Forget about that. This is the one we're talking about, all right? So here's the one that isn't shaved. So if we're gonna plug it in, it's gonna go in like that, right? But if I pull it, I can just pull it out, right? It'll never lock in. And so those pins are probably not making full connection. So now if I grab the one that's shaved, I don't know if you can hear it. Let me bring it close. Now you don't hear it click in, but you can see it. Yeah, see, I can't wait. Oh, I forced that off. But also these connections right here, they're not the greatest. We had to force them down a little bit too to lock it in. But that was a lot more force to take it out, and it went deeper. See, I can feel it click in. Well, you can kind of hear it, I think, too. Yeah, it kind of clicked in now. And I have to force it off. So we're just gonna shave off as much as they did on the first one, so you can kind of get a better idea what it's gonna look like. That's how much we're taking off. Not much. We're just gonna shave some off on all the other three, and hopefully this fixes all of our fueling issue or that random breakup. If you are gonna try this, if you have RDX injectors and you have some sort of the same problem, make sure you cover both sides of the injector because you don't want no plastic going in there. So I just taped both ends up. And what I did is I'm taking my my Dremel tool with the cutoff wheel. Instead of using the wheel, I turn the wheel upside down so the lettering is on the bottom. Because, well, yeah, on the bottom now, because on the bottom of the cutoff wheel, if you're holding it the right way, that's where the grit is. So I'm using that to grind it down rather than try to cut and get an uneven cut. That's the way I'm doing it, so you guys can see. There's what it looks like after you pretty much shave it down. I don't know if it's, yeah, there you go, there to focus. So it's more of a straighter cut just because I'm grinding down. And so let's try the connector and see. It's just trial and error basically, but make sure you get all that crap off of it because that's gonna stop the connector from going on. Yep. So we're fully engaged. The best way, another way I can explain to you so you can see, I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up, but alright, so you see where the connector is. I'm going to try to point right in here. So on the inside you can see the blue of the injector. That's how we saw that it wasn't coming all the way down, because if I pull this out a little bit, let me get this out for you guys. Alright, so if you see right now the connector, you don't see any of the blue. So as we start coming in, you'll start to see the injector come in now. There you can see the blue in. So that's how we saw it, because it was hitting the top of this connector right here, but never making all the way in. So that's how we noticed. So that's another way you could check to make sure you shaved enough off, which I did. I'm probably going to take just a little bit more off so the clip makes full contact, and put these back on the car and make sure I have no leaks. Alright, so everything's back in the car. One thing I did actually do, which I'm not sure why I didn't do this when I first got these injectors, could be because I got them a long time ago, and since they came with the harness I didn't really want to depin them, but I depinned the connectors for the RDX and I wired them into my harness. So you can see right there now the gray RDX injectors are pinned into my harness, and they don't fit the greatest. So what I ended up doing was putting just a tad bit of super glue on the back of the pins, so that way they can stay clicked, or they could stay secured into the connector. So whenever I do change injectors, what I am probably gonna have to do is just gonna have to chop the end off, and then splice in the new little metal terminals for whatever new injectors I go with. So probably gonna have to. I'm probably gonna end up going with some ID 1000s if I can find them, or FIC. I've seen a lot of people running FIC injectors, so I might try those out. But hopefully this solves all of our hiccups, which I know it solved it. We know that because we proved it on the dyno. But let's hope it stays that way. So that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to give you guys an update. I'm in the garage. I was changing the oil on the car, trying to get everything ready for Honda Day, kind of my Honda Day prep. So I wanted to let you guys know exactly what was going on with the whole car, with the issue, and just wanted to inform you guys as I'm doing little things. So like I said, I am going to upload this before my retune video. So I will be at Honda Day on the 7th and 8th. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be racing. Hopefully we can do something as long as the weather holds up, because today is Wednesday the 4th, so 7th and 8th, which is this weekend. Looks like it's going to rain on Saturday, but I don't know yet. But fingers crossed we can make it there. All right, so I hope that answered any questions for you guys, and just be on the lookout for my next retune video, because that's a pretty good video. We made good power. We really go over a lot of things you might want to double check when you go to get a tune, and it's a pretty good video. All right, so keep a lookout for that, guys. Stay motivated and keep making those streets louder.